What is up, everybody? So this is the June 24th risk calculator update, and what this update entails is a lot of major changes highly anticipated by the community and recommended by them. And also we fixed a few things. So the pending orders have been fixed. They now trigger and they're good to go. But the additions that we have added is a new trailing stop feature where you could trail your trades in pips. There is also now an MT5 version that you can add for the risk calculator and a default stop loss size input where you're able to place a specific 20 to 25 point stop loss for all the scalpers who just want that set stop loss already and not have to drag it anything. But we'll go over that later in the video. So now what I will do is show you all how to set up the risk calculator on MT4 and MT5. If you already know how to do this, feel free to skip ahead. But if you are newer and you don't, please follow along. And I'm going to go over MT4 first. So for MT4, as you can see, I have both files. It will be the EX4 file. This file, the MQL5 program, will be for MT5, so don't worry about that one. So if you're using MT4, worry about this TTF Risk Calculator 3 EX4 file. So once you have that downloaded, once you have found that on the website in the Get Smarter section, what you'll do now is you'll open up your Metafor Trader terminal, come up to File, hit Open Data Folder. Once you're in there, we'll go to MQL4, and then we'll go to Experts. And so bring up that file explorer that you had already, and what you'll need to do is you need to copy and paste the EX4 file into your Experts file, or simply drag and drop like I do here. And so I'll just minimize that. Once you add this EX4 file into the data folder for MetaTrader, you can X this out. And what you'll do now is you'll come to the Expert Advisors section in your Navigator tab in MetaTrader. You'll right-click Expert Advisors, hit refresh, and you should see the TTF Risk Calculator 3 pop up. So once you have it popped up, what you'll need to do now is drag and drop it in. Once you drag and drop it, this menu will prompt up, and you need to make sure you come to the Common tab. Make sure you allow live trading, allow DLL imports, allow import of external experts, and you should be good to go. There's a few settings here, and actually what I'd recommend, we'll get to this soon, but your partial TP line, I recommend changing this either to yellow, to red, just something that pops out for you, that way you're able to see it. In this example, I'm just going to change it to yellow. As you can see here, just quickly going over the settings, you have your risk, but most of these settings don't really matter because you're able to change this on your calculator on the screen when it's prompt here. The only thing that you need to change before adding this to your calculator, before clicking OK, is if you want a certain default stop loss size. But we'll go over that later. I'm just kind of worried about setting everything up. So after you've done this, click OK, and from there you should see at the top right that there's a smiley face. If there's not a smiley face, that probably means you have your auto trading turned off. So make sure you enable auto trading, and you should see a smiley face pop up there, and you should be good to go. So that is how to set it up on MT4. So setting it up on MT5, very similar to MT4, but in case you did not watch that, here is how it goes. So what we'll do now is we have our downloads folder, and we've downloaded the MQL5 program, TTF Risk Calculator. And so what we'll do here, we'll go to File, we'll go to Open Data Folder. From there, we'll go to MQL5, we'll go to Experts, and then we'll go to Advisors. And so now we'll bring back our file explorer that we have, and we'll copy and paste, or like I just simply drag and drop it in. So what we'll do now is we'll come to Expert Advisors and hit refresh, and you should see the TTF Risk Calculator here. And so we'll simply drag and drop it on, and from here you go to Common and make sure you allow algo trading. Turn that on. And like I said previously with the MT4 version, all these settings can basically be modified inside of the calculator itself. The only thing that you can't do would be this default stop loss size. So if you want a certain size, and it's in pips, but I'm going to go over that soon whenever we go over the calculator. But everything is good to go. I do recommend changing this partial TP line to something that pops out, so like yellow, for example, that way you're able to see it, or pink, or something of that nature. Just don't leave it gray. I have a gray background, so if you leave it gray, then you can't see anything. But you should be good to go there. Hit OK. It's a red square here. Whenever you click it, it'll have a green little play button there. and from there this should light up to blue. And what's cool about um, MT5 compared to MT4, you don't actually have to take off the calculator and put it back on whenever you want to access the inputs. You could simply right click this little graduation hat and go to properties of TTF risk calculator and change the stuff here. But that is how you set up MT5 with our risk calculator. And what I want to go over now is on certain prop firms, especially FTMO, I just set up a random FTMO free trial. What you'll see is that sometimes the candles will be in front of the risk calculator. We've been seeing this question a lot. And so to be able to troubleshoot this, all you need to do is you right click the chart anywhere on the chart. You go to properties, and then in the common tab, make sure you unselect chart on foreground and then hit OK. And whenever you do that, now the calculator is in front of the candles and you're good to go. So I just wanted to give an example about that because I know some of y'all have been asking why are the candles in front of the chart, and all you have to do is unselect chart on foreground. So that is how you troubleshoot that problem. So I am going to go over all the examples in MT4. It is the exact same in MT5. And so looking at the calculator, split up in three sections: a risk section, a trading execution section, and then also your smart button, like the smart features sections. And so in your first section, you have percent risk, cash risk, and ratio. Percent risk is the amount of percent you want to risk per trade. Simple as that. And so if you want to modify this field, you need to make sure you left click it to where you see a border around the percent risk, and then you could change this whether you want to risk 1 or 2% and hit enter. But normally I'll either risk 0.5 to 1%. And then if you want to change the cash risk, then you select cash risk, make sure the border is around it, and maybe you want to risk 600, and it'll automatically update the percent risk above there. Ratio is the take profit. So if I want to go for a 2 reward take profit every time, I'll just simply put 2 in this field, and that covers the risk section. Pretty simple. So the trading execution section is you have a big buy and sell button, you have a market button in the middle, and then a send order. So the market button in the middle lets you either execute strictly on the market, which is instantly, or you could do a pending order where you have a desired entry that you want to be filled at, whether it's a buy or a sell stop or limit, and you're able to place your entry where you want, your stop loss, and your take profit where you want. But normally I just go straight off of market execution. So in this example, I'm on NAS and I'm on the 15-minute, and let's just go for a buy. So if I want to be able to place a buy, what I will do is I'll hit this big blue buy button. And so whenever I click the buy button, what it'll do is it'll bring up a blue and a red line. In this case, these are both fixed. And the reason for that is because you don't see a little circle here. In order to move the stop loss exactly where you want it to, you'll need to double click this red line, and now you can see a little circle. When you see this circle, you can move your stop loss up and down, and as you can see, our take profit, our little blue line, is moving because we had specified in the risk section that we want a 2 reward. So it's always going to stay as a 2 reward no matter where we move our stop loss, as you can see here. So let's just say I want to place the trade here. What I'll do now is I'll simply hit send order, and from there we execute our trade on NAS, and we're good to go. Just going to exit out of there, and vice versa for a sell. If we want to place a sell, we'll click the sell button, we'll double click our stop loss line. Once we see the circle, we're able to move our stop loss wherever we want, and let's just say we want to go for a 3 reward now. We'll change it to where it says 3 reward, and what's cool is you can read the numbers, so you could see where your stop loss is in pips. You could see how much money you'll be risking. We want to risk 600, but indices is a little different with the volume and step size depending on your contract size, and we'll go over that in specific videos in the future. But you'll see how much percentage you're risking and what your lot size is probably going to be. Like it says volume in parentheses, but this is basically what smallest you can go on a broker. And so the percentage is 5 to 1%, like a do. What's up, everybody? In this video, I'll be going over the frequently asked questions regarding the risk calculator, and this is going to be going over some of the quirks that people experience in the Discord, and I kind of just want to consolidate all of those problems and put it in one video. That way there is one universal video that you can show people in case they have similar issues. Make sure you watch this original video that was in June of 2022. In this video, I'll show how to put the file, the EX4 risk calculator file, onto MetaTrader 4 and 5. And I'll also go over the specific functions of the calculator, such as the partial take profit, the trailing stop, the break even, and things of that nature. But in this specific video, I'm going to show you how to download it and what to do in that regard. And I'm also going to show you a different way of setting it up on MT4. MT5 will be the same exact way, but for Mac users, because that is the first problem. So if you're a Mac user, stay tuned very shortly. But with that being said, I'm going to get started. So in order to get the file, click, for me, I just set up an MT4 demo account Hugo's. And so I'm going to be using the MT4 download. If you're on MT5, simply use this MT5 download. So with that being said, I'll open it up on MT4. And then you don't have to worry about creating an account. You don't have to log into Mega. The only thing you're worried about is clicking this green download button. And so once you do, it will initialize, it'll decrypt, and then it'll be complete. And you'll see here in the top, it is complete. And so with that being said, what you'll now need to do is you'll need to go over into your File Explorer and see that it was added into your downloads. So as you can see here, I'm good to go. And from there, what we'll do is we will open up our MT4 account. So normally in the other video, what we would do is you open the data folder. It popped up on one of those screens, so I had to drag it here. You go to MQL4, you'll go to experts, and then you would simply bring up the other file explorer that I had, and you'll just drag over, copy and paste. Either that or you Control C and Control V the file over. But for Mac users, which is the first problem, you're not able to do this. And so in order to be able to add the risk calculator, if you're using a Mac, please follow along. And I'm pretty sure that this solves majority of the problems that Mac users have whenever they're not able to install the calculator on the charts. So what you'll want to do, it's the same concept. You go to File and you go to Open Data Folder, and then you'll go to MQL4, you'll go to Experts. So now you have this path. After that, you will go to wherever you had downloaded the file, the risk calculator file. And so in this case, I know it's in my download section. So wherever you downloaded it, whether it's on your desktop, in your downloads folder, in a specific document, it doesn't matter. Just go and find it in this specific file explorer that you opened up through MT4. And so in my case, it is in the downloads. So what I'll do is I'll left click to highlight this. I'll hit Control C. I'm pretty sure it's like Windows something in order to copy it on. I'm not a Mac user, I'm sorry, but whatever it takes to be able to copy this, do that with this file. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to go back to the experts. You just click back however long it takes. You just click back to where you get into this path of terminal, long number, MQL4, and experts, and then from there you paste it in. For me, it's Control V. That should solve your problem. So hopefully that helps if you're a Mac user, and that was the first problem. And so I still need to add the calculator onto the charts. So I guess I'm kind of going over how to do that. What you'll want to do is you'll right click Expert Advisors, hit refresh, and then from there you'll drag and drop the calculator on. It'll prompt this little menu up. You'll go to the common tabs, allow live trading, and then you should be good to go. Cool. So
Now that you see that here, what you need is a smiley face. You could see that there's a sad face for on my screen. So sad face means that the risk calculator is not on and it's not working. For MT5, you'll have like a little graduation hat. That will be white if it's not working, and then it'll be like a bright blue if it is working. So that's just the difference between MT4 and MT5. But anywho, um, if this is a sad face, you probably need to turn auto trading on. Now that auto trading is turned on in green instead of red, I now have a smiley face and I'm good to go. But there are also other alternatives that you might have to turn on. Maybe you missed going into that common tabs and allowing automated trading. So here's how to do that in case you had forgot. So what you need to do is you go to tools here at the top, options, then you go to expert advisors and you make sure that you allow automated trading. I did it a little fast earlier, but right before this calculator popped up, I went to the common tab and I turned this on. But just in case you didn't, this is the way that you turn it on. So that covers problem 2. So problem 3, if the risk calculator keeps minimizing when a new candle opens, here is how you fix it. And so there's certain cases where, as you could see here, on the 5 minute, well, it's probably better to do on the 1 minute. And so just kind of waiting now, almost perfect timing. So for some people, whenever this new candle opens up, the calculator minimizes like that every single time. And they're not able to obviously post their trades. So in order to change this, what you'll need to do is right click anywhere on the chart. You'll go to properties, you go to the common tab, and then chart auto scroll. I don't know if it'll be on or off for you, but just click whatever. If it's checked on, take it off. If it's not checked on, if it's checked off, I'm sorry, then check it on. And so that should solve your problem if your chart, if you notice that your calculator keeps minimizing on every like opened candle. And so another thing, problem number 4, if the risk calculator is behind the candles, you'll do the same exact thing to go back to that common tab. So you'll right click anywhere on the chart, you'll go to properties at the bottom, you go back to this common tab, and then you want to make sure you select chart on foreground. It should be checked off. If you check it on, I believe it'll be behind the candles. If you check it off, it'll be in front. I could be wrong about that, but anyway, whether it doesn't matter if it's on or off, just do the complete opposite. Just make sure you do the complete opposite on chart and foreground, and then you should be good to go. There. Problem number 5, and I need to go to Discord to show this problem. Recently, somebody had asked, "Hey, does anybody have issues where like the text just is disproportionate compared to the borders that the calculator has?" And this can happen sometimes if you're on a specific resolution or a specific monitor, specific system. But anywho, what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to the website that I'm about to put on the screen here. So we're not worried about the ad, but basically come down here, how to fix scaling in MT4 and MT5 high resolution monitors, MT4, MT5, 4K monitor issues by Traders Terminal. So you could like type this out here, or you could simply just type in here, and then you're good to go there. So this will solve the problems if you have weird scaling of your text. So that is that. Problem number 6. So this is kind of, I wouldn't say a complicated problem, but a lot of people have this issue. And so I'm going to show you how to solve the issue, but also in case it would happen again, how to kind of minimize the frustration of having to restart. So there happens to be times where you have the calculator pulled up and it'll freeze on your screen. So in the case that you're clicking X to cancel, but it won't do anything, you try and click buy, it won't bring up the lines. It's literally just like it's literally fixed on the back of your screen. You have to literally pull up a new risk calculator while there's the old one just chilling at the back of your screen. So in order to get rid of this, what you have to do is you'll go to some random pair, I don't know, AU, and then you'll right click it and create a new chart window, and that will get rid of this screen. But the problem here is that you might have had specific colors that you liked here, and you're gonna have to restart and reprogram all these colors, the backgrounds, get rid of the grids and things of that nature. But I have the solution for you there. What you need to do is just save your MetaTrader chart template. And so with that being said, I'll take the calculator off here. And so before this problem even transpires, I recommend you just do this. That way, if the problem does happen, then you don't have to worry about doing this again. So go to whichever window has your specific chart layout that you like. Right click and then go to template and then go to save template. For this example, I'm just gonna call it X. So I'm gonna just save it as X. It saves in the templates folder in like your data folder. So from there, we now have template X saved. And then let's say our calculator freezes and we're not able to access it. So we're gonna have to do what I just stated before. Right click some random pair, select add a new chart window, and then from there, you're open to this default screen. You'll right click inside of this, you'll go to template, you'll go to load template, we'll select X, and then bam, we have our old template. We come here, we drag our risk calculator back on, and we're good to go. We got the smiley face, we're ready to roll, we're ready to set a trade. So that is how you get past your calculator freezing on the chart. You simply just create a chart template beforehand, and that way if it ever freezes, you just add a new chart window and then right click and load your template and then add the calculator back on, and then you're good to go there. So that covers about everything that I want to go over in this risk calculator episode. And I don't know why I call it an episode, it's just a video. I'm used to podcasting. But last thing I kind of want to go over, for a lot of the newer people out there, it's kind of annoying that MetaTrader doesn't show this right away. But if you right click anywhere in the watch list, you go down to spread and you can add your spread in here so you could see that in real time. And so spread is accounted by this little exclamation point for some weird reason. And you'll see like 29, 25, 14, 18, or they always vary. But the 30, like let's just use USD CHF for example. This 29 number, 28, 29, that's not the actual spread. You have to divide by 10. So technically this spread is 3. And like EU spread is 1.7, 1.8, 1.5, 1.4, etc. So that just gives you an idea of spreads at this time. And so that is about it that I want to cover. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, aka Jay or JSav in the Discord, and I'll be glad to help. But I believe that this covers majority of the frequently asked questions that have been arising since June. And so I'll catch y'all later. Peace.